What is the best comeback you've ever heard? In 10th grade my friend called a classmate illiterate. He replied, "Joke's on you. I don't know what that means. I think about that a lot." My grandma was playing bridge with her friends and the subject of age came up. My grandma said she was 63. Then the next woman said a lady doesn't discuss such things. So my grandma said, "Don't worry dear. I'm sure when I'm your age I won't want to discuss it either." Dang. I've noticed that old people can throw shade that we can only marvel at. There was this guy at a frat party that whipped out his pecker in front of this girl and asked her what it looked like. Without missing a beat she replied, "A penis, only smaller." No longer erect. My mother-in-law is 4 minutes and 11 seconds. She once asked a 6 feet 5 inches co-worker of mine if he played basketball. To which he replied, "Number. Do you play miniature golf?" Oh my god, I'm stealing this. I'm 6 feet 3 inches and I get asked this sometimes. I had this one teacher who would say in a battle of wits, "You have come unarmed." When he said that to one of the students in my class one day, the student promptly responded, "Then I challenge you to a battle of hair." Note, the teacher was bald. My team leader at work said, "Have you tried playing dad to 40 kids?" referring to us regular employees. My co-worker, without missing a beat, replies, "Have you ever had a deadbeat dad?" I was dying. Friend in 6th grade came to school with a black eye. Everyone was naturally asking what happened. Bitchy girl says, "Your white trash dad probably beat you in front of everyone." He responds, "At least I have a dad." Her dad had killed himself 2 years before. Too far I'd say, but was very quick and burned her like 1,000 suns. Years ago I was out drinking with friends and some people we just met, including a guy I was interested in. There was lots of banter flying back and forth. In an effort to seem cool to our new acquaintances I threw a lame, slightly personal insult to my friend across the table. I don't even remember what it was as it was so long ago, but probably along the lines of a "your mum" joke. Despite obviously hearing what I'd said, he looked directly at me and said, in a non-aggressive way, "Sorry I couldn't hear you. What was that you said?" Feeling little stupid at this point I repeated it, once again, louder, and our company was paying attention now. He said, "I didn't get it that time either. What did you say at that point?" The table had fallen silent and with all eyes on me I felt so small and embarrassed and just mumbled "never mind" into my drink. Looking back he clearly knew exactly what he was doing and I've used this tactic since it's so simple yet effective and guaranteed to make your opponent want the earth to swallow them whole. After the second time I just counter with "You know what I said." Now they're on the defensive. Wasn't there, but my brother overheard 2 kids on a bus playing a game where you see who can yell penis the loudest. It got too loud and the bus driver, who was a woman in maybe her 50s, out of the blue yells, "Sounds like it's coming from someone who wishes they had won." The entire bus erupted in laughter. Oh, I love the penis game. President Calvin Coolidge was famously taciturn. His campaign train stopped briefly in one town. A woman called out, "Mr. Coolidge, my husband bet me I couldn't get you to say more than 2 words. Now what do you say to that?" The train lurched into motion. "You lose," he said. I read that like that guy from the end of Iron Man 2. Hehe, you lose. My buddy and I used to hang with a guy that always smelled. He barely showered, even before work, and we would always give him crap for it. One day my buddy was driving and he let a fart go. It didn't smell that bad, but the guy who smelled made a comment along the lines of, "Your farts are so weak." My buddy, without hesitation, says, "It's because your body odor was covering it up." Saw this somewhere online. This guy brought a new lunchbox to school and was being made fun of by this girl in a wheelchair. She told him "nice lunchbox," to which he immediately responded, "nice legs." I once read that Margot Fontaine was having dinner with Jean Harlow and a group of other people and Jean kept calling her Margot, pronouncing the T. Fontaine said, "No Jean, the T is silent," as in Harlow. 1930s savagery right there. Bet Davis about Joan Crawford. She's fricked every star in Hollywood including Lassie. A colleague was once telling us how he fell asleep during a blowjob the night before. My other colleague immediately asked, "What woke you up? The dong hitting the back of your throat?" No, he can't reach that far. Winston Churchill to Lady Astor after she called him disgustingly drunk. I may be drunk, miss, but in the morning I will be sober and you will still be ugly. Also from Churchill and some woman. If you were my husband I'd poison your tea. And madam, if you were my wife, I'd drink it. Bully calls idiot a pea. Idiot says, you are what you eat. Bully laughs. Idiot says, guess that makes you an butthole. That explains why you're dong. A guy stole my friend's soccer ball one day. We were 13, so I watched as she went up to get it back. He said he wouldn't give it back unless she gave him a BJ. So she responded with sorry I can't. My mama told me not to put small things in my mouth. She then snatched the soccer ball and walked back happily. Well, that's disturbing. Mean girl on the school bus says to me, you're one of the ugliest dudes I've ever seen, Joe. Me. Well, Tara, looks like we have something in common. Whole bus starts cracking up laughing. She was P. Never said a word to me ever again. My brother and I were about 12 and 10, respectively, and we went skiing in Vermont for the day. But we didn't really ski and we certainly didn't have any nice gear or clothes. So my brother wore the only snowsuit he had, which was a one piece, and it was brown, like dark brown, and he put on his brown hat. We were gliding down a pass that was under the ski lift when I fell down and my brother stops right next to me to help me up. This guy on the lift above me looks down at us and screams, hey, kid in brown, you look like brown piece of crap. And brother with perfect comedic timing says in his high-pitched prepubescent voice, that's what your mother said when I pulled my dong out of her butt. I was hysterical. I couldn't stop laughing and everyone that was on the lift started laughing too, and my brother, of course, took off his brown mittens to give him the finger. I'm still laughing. Kumail Nanjiani had a wicked comeback while reading mean tweets. Tweet: is Kumail Nanjiani's dong multiple colors? Kumail: yes. Every color of your mom's lipstick. I just about died. My brother had a wart on his hand and had a little bottle of medicine that he was using, IDK, a few times a day maybe. My friend Julie was over, and the three of us were sitting and chatting. My brother was casually tossing the little bottle in the air and catching it. Julie, who was, let's be honest, a snobby bee, said, gee, I wish I were as cool as you with your wart medicine. My brother said, very seriously, I'm so sorry, Julie, I'd be happy to share with you but there isn't enough to cover your entire head. Junior: hi, had a science teacher that looking back was pretty cool, used to let everyone give him a hard time, was pretty goofy and such. I don't remember what prompted it, but one of my classmates asked a question and he answered, don't set unrealistic expectations, my friend. Not the person who asked the initial question jumped in, then why are you teaching? Dang, that's a good one. I love teachers who are cool with riffing with the students. Friend of mine welding. Douche at workplace says while overlooking that's gonna come out fricked up. Friend of mine replied immediately with, that's what the doctor told your parents at the first ultrasound. LOL. Student is whispering to her classmate while teacher is speaking. 6th grade math. Teacher says, am I interrupting something? Then student says, yeah, but don't let it happen again. Epic. Haha, teacher trolled epic style xddddddddd. When I was younger, me and my brother were having a roast battle of sorts, just trying to say the most messed up funny crap we could to each other. My mom walks in the room and says, oh look, a battle of wits between unarmed opponents. Needless to say, that put a swift end to our attempted humor. I would challenge you to a duel of wits, but it seems you are unarmed. On the R4 Honok Night subreddit, a guy who played in the samurai faction came in talking trash about the knight players and OP responded with, keep it up and the next king won't be decided by the sword in the stone, but by who can pull my boot from your butt. I still laugh at it to this day even though I haven't played For Honor in forever. This just reminded me of a time a buddy of mine got super drunk and kept quoting Toy Story to the point where it got really annoying. He looked at me and yelled, there's a snake in my boot, to which I respectfully retorted, there's going to be a snake in your butt if you don't shut the frick up. Good times. Brother 1 inches, stop talking crap. Brother 2 inches, everything that comes out of my mouth is sweet. Brother 1 inches, yeah, no wonder you're fat as frick. I can tell brother 1 is the older brother. The last debate in a presidential race. Trump, you're a liar. Hillary, no, you're a liar. Trump, no, you're a liar. God tear, literally no you. When someone says frick you I say pay me, it stumps a lot of people, sometimes resulting with a ugh frick you, well, pay me. I can't tell if this is a Goodfellas reference or a prostitution joke. One time I was at Geeks Who Drink Bar Trivia here in Dallas. Me and the 2 other people on my team were in 3rd place during the 6th round score announcement. The first place team had a full group of 5 or 6. After the trivia master announced the scores, I drunkenly said out loud yes but how many people are on their team, and the trivia master overheard me. He instantly said in the microphone so everyone could hear enough to kick your freaking butt. It was such a good retort that I wasn't even mad, and he was right. Quizmaster. One of my friends got into an argument at a bar with someone else and the guy walked up to him and tried choking him out with one hand from the front. My friend just smiled the whole time, and when a bouncer grabbed the guy choking my friend and was escorting him out, my friend yelled, "I've fricked chicks who choke me harder than that." I was really proud of him. Last day of 5th grade. Short chubby kid was going around the teacher-less classroom giving out quick roasts. He gets to me and says, "Rick Newtonian, your head looks like a basketball." I quickly replied, "It looks like you ate a basketball." I'm still very proud of 5th grade me. When my bro was about 10, it used to be my job to take him for his Saturday morning soccer game. It was run by his school and they'd play other school groups. It sucked as a teenager, but I mostly just hung out with the other mums and cut up oranges and stuff. I gotta mention I lived in a pretty white area, and my brother and I looked absolutely and unapologetically Muslim, 'cause we are. Anyway, my little brother's team come off the field after absolutely thrashing another school. This school is in a pretty rural, racist area, and one of the kids run up to my bro and screams, "You learn to freaking play like that in jihad camp?" My bro picks up an orange and replies, "Yeah, we practice against the Hitler Youth on Sundays. See you there." Then he threw the orange at him. My brother brought his college girlfriend home with him during Christmas break. Dad's pulling a double shift. Mom ran off to France with some fancy European guy, and I'm teabagging my classmates on Halo 3. The 2 of them get bored just sitting there on the couch since I'm not much of a conversationalist. Anyways, one thing leads to another if you know what I mean. Unfortunately for them, Dad's boss had a Scrooge epiphany and sent him home early for Christmas Eve. So Dad walks in carrying this giant Christmas ham to surprise us with, only to find his eldest son with his tongue up his girlfriend's butt. Dad goes full Leviticus on my bro, declares the anus an unclean organ, and then said it was detestable to practice sodomy in front of me. I tried to defend my brother with the old "I've seen worse on the internet" defense, but Dad just talked over me. The disrespect pissed off my brother and he tore into my dad. Maybe if you ate mom's booty, she wouldn't have left us. Brutal perhaps, but it did shut down Dad's biblical rant. Sophomore year of high school, 1995ish. A close friend of mine had just gotten her first of what would eventually be many tattoos, a rubber ducky on her belly, just beside her navel. We had a church camp thing that weekend, and she tried to keep it covered as much as she could, but she had to keep applying Neosporin and such. So we kept ducking out to hallways and spare conference rooms at this massive church so she could take care of business, and I would look out for any adults who might yell at her about the tattoo. So, maybe the 5th time we go out to get her tattoo some year, these girls from another church sneak out and follow us. Picture the cast of Mean Girls, wealthy, snotty, preppy, pretty, and totally up their own asses. They're all blonde, thin as rails, and dressed like a Land's End advertisement. My friend and I were also skinny blondes, but she dressed grunge and I was into the skater raver look at the time. A total poser, as I didn't do drugs. But I had a pixie haircut with a green streak in it and wore little boys polo shirts and enormous pants. Not the type these girls thought of as cool. Anyway, the lead blonde clone walks up to us and asks in her flat valley girl voice, "Oh my god, is that a tattoo?" And my friend goes, "Yeah," as she's dabbing little spots of blood away and applying ointment. And the girl goes, "Is it real?" And my friend goes, "No, it's fake and so is the blood." Blondie catches her sarcasm. Amazingly enough, stares hard at my friend's belly for a moment, and asks what's going to happen when you get fat, and without missing a beat or even looking up from what she was doing, my friend said, "I don't know what happened when you got fat." The girl was just a penmouthed for a second, and then went, "B," and stalked off with her entourage. But I could tell my friend got to her. She was the comeback goddess. She always knew exactly what to say to level a person who crossed her. As soon as I read Rubber Ducky, I assumed your username. I assumed wrong. When we were kids, my older brother and I were arguing about some crap and I said I knew that before you were born. Without hesitation he replied, "Did you have a library in a part of the scrotum?" We both pee ourselves laughing for 5 minutes. Sperms don't go to the library, idiot. They go to the bank. Adlai Stevenson ran for president twice, in 1952 and 1956. A woman gushed at him, "Mr. Stevenson, you have the vote of every thinking American." His reply, "Sorry, Mom, I need a majority." Adlai was quite witty and a true statesman. My folks were yellow dog Democrats, would vote for a yellow dog on the ballot instead of a Republican, and told me how cool he was. There was once a kid in 7th grade that was at least a foot shorter than me, and he was trying to roast me. At one point I just interrupted him and said, "Hey, at least I can go on the frickin' Ferris wheel." I, and those around me, got a kick out of that. My uncle, a genial old man with a beard, sitting in a pub. Younger guy looks at him and says, "The frick are you looking at?" My uncle, "Oh, I'm sorry sonny, if you don't know what the frick you are, I'm afraid I cannot help you." Younger guy looked puzzled for a moment and decided it wasn't worth the intellectual headache of pushing it further. While out at a bar in Davis, California, I was approached by a young woman. She and I started talking. I bought her a drink, and the conversation seemed to be going well, until a guy whose appearance and voice made him seem like a caricature of a racist farmhand walked up, sat down at a table, and interjected himself. Cut in. Ext. A bar patio. Night. A table near the corner of the patio is occupied by a tall, slender male, an average height, slender female, and a lanky young man in a white undershirt and jeans. These are Max, the girl, and the redneck, respectively. Redneck, "Hi, girl." Amused, "Hello, redneck, you like horses?" Girl, "They're okay." The girl turns to Max with an expression of slight disbelief. Girl, continued, "How about you? Do you like horses?" Max, "Not even a little bit." Girl, I guess they're not too common in the city." Redneck, interjecting, "What city?" Max, "I'm from San Francisco." Redneck, snarling, "I hate San Francisco. Too many gay suckers." Max does not respond. Redneck, "You're a gay sucker, aren't you?" Max, "Why? Are you interested?" Redneck, to the girl, "Why are you talking to this gay sucker?" Girl, "He's more interesting than the other people here." The redneck clearly misses the jab. Redneck, "I have some horses. How about I take you for a ride sometime?" Girl, "That might be difficult." Redneck, "Why?" Girl, "How are you going to ride a horse when your head is shoved so far up your butt?" The redneck sputters and grows red in the face. After a moment of this, he angrily turns back to Max. Redneck, "Yeah, well, how about I shove my head in this gay sucker's butt?" Max, "See, I knew you were interested." The guy eventually decided to leave, but not before trying to goad me into a fight and making another pass at the young woman in my company. I couldn't help but laugh at the whole situation, because unbeknownst to the redneck, the girl was actually a lesbian. I mean, it figures, right? Anyway, it certainly wasn't the most effective comeback, but it ranks up there with the best I've heard. TLDR. How about I shove my head in this gay sucker's butt? Younger brother, who is exactly 10 years younger than my older brother, is ruthlessly mocking him over the phone about how old he is on his 30th birthday. Older brother is seething and fuming, and finally snaps, "You know, someday you'll be 30, and without a single hesitation. Yeah, and on that day, you'll be 40. Older brother hangs up. When someone makes a comment about your weight or you putting on the pounds, you reply with, "That's because every time I frick your mom she gives me cookies." My dad once told my 16/17-YO Brother, you're just mad because the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's butt. This loser walked into class. The teacher said you're late, and he instantly said a wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. He was lucky the teacher knew LOTR. Definitely doesn't sound like a loser. Slightly chubby girl told my friend, who admittedly had a teenage pedo beard, that he should shave. Without skipping a beat, he told her she should shave the pounds off. My ex-boss was in a bar in Oslo watching England valiantly lose in heartbreaking style in a soccer tournament to Germany yet again when he got accidentally bumped into by a German fan as he was reversing without due attention. Sorry, apologized the German chapter, for which World War quips Nick. Apparently, the punch came out of nowhere. Does this dude sound like an butthole or what? If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.